that's going to be bringing on small businesses and business owners who are looking to make things happen as well. And we don't want no, and we want to be a blessing to somebody else, because no, it's because of God that we're here, and that we're that we're able to establish what we do as business owners. Um, Before we go any further, I want to extend my sincere condolences to the family of Gary P.C. Badger, um, who passed away. And we're preparing to funeralize him on Saturday. And I want to extend my sincere condolences to his family, because we understand that he was a pillar in the community. Even through hard times, Gary still smiled. He still had a smile on his face. He walked around with a trach, and but everybody thought he just couldn't talk. But the thing is that no, every time you saw Gary, he had a smile, or if you saw him, he had a beer in his hand. And we thank God for his friendship, because man, like I said, he was a great person. And my sincere condolences to his son Coleon. And we want to let them know that we're praying with them and praying for them. Um, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce, well, I don't even have to introduce her. She can introduce herself, Miss Stacy of Shippoppin.
Well, hello, everyone. Good evening. I am so blessed to be here and to have this connection with Colossal, and to be once again in the studio with Intellectual Radio and Earl Winfrey. I'm sorry, Earl. I will have your popcorn. I feel so bad. But I guess we're going to kick it off and talk about small businesses and things that we're looking to accomplish and to do in the proviso area and outside the proviso area, because we want to extend that to everyone. And most importantly, you know, try and get small businesses in here to talk about their products and how we can elevate to the next level as collectively as a group. And we'll just go from there.
Okay. So, with this small businesses, what we're trying to do, Colossal started as a vision, and we started with another business called PPES. We've done fashion shows, we've done ladies pamper nights, we've done just some vendor shows, fashion shows, and we want to try to get back to that, and we want to bring that to the western suburbs, because um, the western suburbs has is a prime location for a lot of small businesses, because we have a lot of black business owners who really don't get the exposure that they deserve. And not just black business owners, we have some Hispanics, we have some Caucasians um, who need that spotlight. My guy Danny's online. Gents with drinks, man. Welcome my boy, bro. Um, we want now. So what we want to try to do, man, we want to try to highlight some small business owners. Danny, we need to get you on the show, bro. For real, we need to get you on the show. He's another business owner who's doing it big. His daughter just got accepted into a college in Florida. So we want to send congratulations out to him.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
Danny.
Man, because that's big for him and his family. We definitely want to get Danny on, because, like I said, he does website building, he does media advertising, he does Danny does so much, and people don't realize that that he has a gift, and sometimes people overlook the gift because they try to take advantage of the person, and we want to make sure that we highlight him, because like I said, he's a brand within himself. He's promoting others, as well as trying to keep his family afloat, and we want to make sure that we support each other. Um, so with that being said, Stacy, what ideas do you have?
Uh, One you touched on, and that's actually to make sure that they get the exposure. Everyone needs the exposure. The pandemic came, and it kind of, a lot of people started, and then they kind of like had to take a step back. So we got to get everybody back at the forefront, get their businesses to be exposed, let everybody know that they're out here. During the course of the last 3 years, a lot of the vendors and people that I've dealt with, some of these small businesses are closed, has closed down. Some of them are still closing down, not just small, but large businesses as well. But the focus is small business. They've closed down. They're still closing up because they're not getting the exposure. So we need to get them out there because small businesses are the, you know, foundation of all our communities. You
Yes,
know,
that's
it
very
started,
true.
everybody started as a small business, and we have to continue to, let that grow. Um, I would say the mom and pop shops are it. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We just need to join together to make things happen.
Okay.
And that's where it
Yes.
starts. It's just a lot that we don't know. It's a lot of small businesses that we don't know about.
Right.
So we want to bring them together collectively, hopefully on this show, on this platform, so that everyone can grow.
Right.
There's enough out here for all of us.
Right.
And we need to, get that mentality embedded in our minds that, hey, we can do this together.
Right.
You know, there's one that's not going to need the other. At some point in time, we're all going to need each other, whether it's going to be marketing that you mentioned, whether it's going to be, coming together in celebration that, your organization have. It's just coming together as one. And we just have to continue to build like that.
Right. Like so like my guy Danny he's saying he's saying it's community and unity,
Hmm.
and
Right.
we have
Yeah.
to we have to bring the community together.
Exactly.
The small business community needs other needs support, just like we're asking people to support us, but it's only right to support them in return because um, they're trying to make it.
Exactly.
The pandemic came along, and a lot of people, a lot of businesses closed up because of the pandemic.
Hmm.
We had people who actually started businesses during the pandemic,
Hmm.
and they're trying to find a platform where or somewhere where they can actually advertise their products,
Exactly.
Yes.
and
Right.
they don't know because they go to these different vendor shows and come to find out that no, that even when you're online, you have a lot of these people that said they're hosting vendor shows, and find out these are scammers.
Exactly.
And and they don't know who to trust because they know they're spending their money. They're spending 70, $50 to $75 for for a vendor's event that's not even going to happen, and they're out of money.
Well, it's not going to happen, but when you're having an event, you have to make sure not just to put the promotion on the people that are paying the money to come to your event. As an organizer, you have to make sure that you promote this event as well, and that a lot of that promotion needs to come from you. But then the event that you're holding it at, you have to make sure that people know that this is what is happening. Because I went to an event, I had my staff go to an event not long ago, and we went there and there was no advertisement in front of the building. So guess what happened? Everybody who was there, who was just patronizing each other, it's less than 10, consumers that came through there. You have to, as a vendor that's trying to do a vendor event, an organizer, you have got to, put that,
Promote. You have to
you
promote
got to
the event
promote.
that you're
You
doing.
can't sit there and say, well, you paid to come to this vendor event, so it's up to you to promote. No, it's not. You're
Right.
the organizer. You have to promote this event because people have paid their money to be here.
Right.
So in
Right.
hopes that, 60, 70% of this promotion is going to come from you.
Right.
We can be as vendors go out there and we can put it on our social platform, but if you are an organizer, it is important for you to promote this event, not just for you, but for everybody who put their money into this event as well. So
Mhm.
that's very important.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Angela Walker, who's a small business owner, she's online watching.
Mhm.
Uh, Welcome aboard, Angela. Let me ask you a question, Stacy. So, now, when you had sent your people out to do an event, and when you got there, you found out they had no advertisement
Mhm.
going on. Um, how did no how no how did that event actually go that day?
I can say for myself, knowing how my events go when I go out to different locations, I normally sell out because put that, I'm going to promote as much as I can on my social media, on my platform. Um, I'm actually in two or three places at the same time. So I have people that actually go out to these events. And then if it's later in the evening, I normally join in. I'll close up shop and I'll join in. Um, it was kind of, I would say it wasn't good. I can truly say that was an event that wasn't good because the promotion wasn't there. There was no advertisement on the outside of the building because when they set up shop, they normally send me a screenshot or they FaceTime me to let me know this is how we set it up. And I have a staff that will set up in less than 10 minutes. They know what they're supposed to do when they get there. But
Hey,
the first thing that
Shy.
they look at when they get to any type of facility that the event is being held at is the promotion being done outside. Are there balloons? Is it a sign? Is it something to let people know that, hey, this is what's happening here and this is who we have here? That's very important. If you don't have anything on the outside of a building and it's just plain, nobody's going to know what's going on inside. Nobody's going to walk up and open the door that's just there.
Right.
You have to actually put the work in, but you put the work in to collect the money.
Right.
That's the key. If you're going to put the money in, the work in to collect the money from these vendors, then put the work in to put their name out there to say, hey, they joined on this bandwagon with me and this is who I have. This is my team because that's what ultimately it is your team because you're the organizer. I want to make sure and you should want to make sure that everybody succeeds at this event. Not just yourself collecting the fees from everybody and setting up a table and giving two chairs, but make sure that everybody who paid you that fee is going to be successful. Don't point the finger at them and say, well, you didn't promote. That's not my job. You're the organizer. Promote that event. Put it out there. You should be experienced enough to say, hey, I'm promoting this event. I got XYZ on this platform with me, and this is going to be, let's make this successful. Because their success really depends on you. Because people will say, I'm not going back there again. I'm not going to jump on board with this because it's not working. It didn't work for me. And in this day and age, it doesn't matter if you're paying 25, 50, 100, $150. You want to at least break even. If anything else, you want to
Right,
break even.
make back the money that
Right.
you
That you
spent
put out
up
for
it.
it. At
Right.
least do that. A lot of people, a lot of small businesses, let's put it like that, is they may not have a brick and mortar. So every dime counts.
Right. It does.
Every dime counts. So if I'm going to give you $50 and I'm starting my business from home, at least let me get my $50 back because now it's not a loss to me.
Mm.
But I at least got some exposure. But if I'm putting $50 out there and I can't even get $50 back off of that, now I've wasted gas, I wasted time, and if you got staff, now you got to pay staff. You at a loss. You upside
Yeah.
down at that point. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So you have to be very aware when you are organizing an event that you put your team, and I stress your team because anybody who paid you to be at your event is your team. That you got to put just as much as work into it and not say it's on you. No, it's not on me. You are the organizer. Put me out there because I'm on your team now.
So let me ask you a question. Um, what what should small business owners do when they're invited to do a vendor's event? Would you advise them to research who the promoter is or the organizer is?
You
Or
can do that, but say for instance, it's only so much you can research. If that person doesn't have anything or online presence, sometimes you're going by word of mouth, which
Right.
is it can be good or it can be bad. But even if you have a social media presence, it can be good, it can be bad. It just depends on who's organizing that event.
Mm.
It just depends. It's kind of hard to say. So yes, you should put that out there that you're going to be at this event. Put it on your platform as well, because now you want to get some of your people, your customers to come as well. Because they might say, yeah, I'm coming because you know what, I follow XYZ. But at the same token, they're going to be exposed to other vendors. So it's a win-win situation. So yes, you do have the responsibility on putting it on your platform. But as an organizer, and I will say, as an organizer, You need to push, push, push.
I have a question. As a like, what tips would you give to a person that wants to start out as a small business from home and then work their way up?
Um, I was, and I've always used this saying is that um, I work until I get tired. Um, while you sleeping, somebody else is working. So I'd rather be the one working because your ideas can be somebody else's. What they're bringing it to light. So you can say, okay, at 8:30, I'm tired. I'm not going to do anymore. So your 8:30 is somebody else's 1:30 in the morning because they still working on it. So your ideas can be somebody else's ideas that they're going to bring to light because you slept those 4 or 5 hours.
So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. When we have a lot of people who are small business owners, and they do a lot of different vendors events, and
Hmm.
you hear about how it came, how it turned out, and how it didn't turn out,
Hmm.
and how the organizer really didn't do the job that they said that they were going to do,
Hmm.
and then you had some people that lost their money,
Hmm.
because uh, I know being no because being no coming from it, being an event planner,
Hmm.
and you put in so much work, and then try to know and try to build a ground team that's going to help to get out there and promote the event, and try to bring others in, and as you said, it's a
Hmm.
team environment.
Hmm.
And it's no when you're trying to build that team up, you want to make sure you have the right players, because a lot of people aren't team players really,
That's true.
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
because they want no they only want to get out what they can get out of it.
Exactly.
I understand, we're all out to try to make money, but at the same time, we're all trying to make sure that we uplift each other.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
But doing that, um, like you said, you get in the right team. It's not, you can put something on social media and say, hey, we having an event. If you want to be a vendor, text me or call this number or email us. That's fine.
Hmm.
But then you open yourself up to people that are not going to want to give that 110%. If you are somebody, if you're an organizer and you give 150% because this is your name, your brand, your thing is that you want somebody that's going to be working equally as hard because it's there that take their brand very seriously. You want somebody who's going to take their brand just as serious as you're going to take yours. And that's where you look. Sometimes when you're starting out as an organizer, you want to pick, per se, some vendors that are going to be there.
Right.
You want to pick your vendors and then venture out into the world because you might get some people that, and I stress this in business, they always say location, location, location. When you organize an event, what is the key? Your location, your location, your location. Your location can make or break you.
Right. And we
It don't matter where, if you're
right.
doing an
Right.
event or you opening up your first brick and mortar, your location will make or break you. And that is true. And all my years of doing this, it's your location. And then once you start to do the next thing, it's still your location, but now it's the team that you're going to bring along with you. Because you can't, there's no eyes in team.
No.
So when you have an event and you're organizing, you can't have that I. You want to have somebody that's gonna say, "Hey, I'm part of this big team this night, at this event." So we want to make sure everybody succeeds. And it doesn't matter what event I go to or what event I send my people to. I patronize those vendors there. As a vendor, I'm going to patronize those vendors there. And anybody will know if Shapoppin's there, we're going to go over at some point during that night. We're going to speak to even if we buy something or not, we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to see what kind of products you got. I normally will go and just buy something to just patronize you because everybody, we're all there together. We're all there for the greater good. So patronize each other, introduce each other. Nobody's there to compete against each other. We're there for one purpose, and we're all there to succeed. And
Right.
that's it.
Amen.
Right. So, because I know, being, because I said no, because like I said, you're trying to build a team that's no, you're trying to put that team together and help to we all represent each other. And but like I said, there's no, as you always said, there's no I in team.
Hmm.
And then sometimes you really don't realize who you come across until that the day of the event.
Hmm.
Because certain people put on a certain front.
It's a learning experience.
They put on they put on that front, but like I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Hmm.
Then you find out uh,
It's a learning experience, and I've been taught early on. Life is a learning experience only if you learn from it. You got to learn
Right.
from it,
Right.
because if not, it's history just going to have a way of repeating itself if you allow it to. So you have to learn from those experiences, because there's a saying, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me, that um, it's lonely at the top. You're truly making it when you feel like you're by yourself, and that is true, because but you have to pray. And that's just me. Just pray and keep going and keep doing you. If you know you're doing right, you just keep doing what you're supposed to do. But you have to truly know that you're doing the right thing for the right reason, for the right purpose. So it's always better to give than receive. And that's why I tell people that it's not just when you come to Shopopin, it's not just about popcorn. There is another side to us. And I think we touched that last time we was here. And Earl, I think that I saw, and I'm not on Facebook a whole lot because I got somebody to do that, that you was at a shelter the other night. And people don't realize that, and this is the truth, and people may not, you can spit the truth to somebody and they just don't want to hear it. But we all a step away from what you saw the other night, and we don't realize that. So we have to realize that never forget where you came from, because God to give it, he'll take it away.
And
It's
that's
just
true.
it's just that
That's
simple.
very true.
You have to just know which way you, in what direction you're going
yeah. So 'cause like I said, us no, we started. It was back in 2010,
in.
and we came under another organization, and and the young lady, no, well, the young lady that brought us in, brought not myself, my wife into the organization. Um, she made me the director of operations, and I'm like, and I didn't have no experience as a director of operations doing anything. But one thing that I know that I learned, especially about organizing, as you said, team building, promoting, marketing, and you can't sit there and send out people to do the work that you're not willing to do yourself. Because we were down at the Taste of Chicago promoting. We were down at the auto shows, not Chicago Auto Show promoting, especially when we were doing at Navy Pier, the McCormick place, and seeing how you try to keep um, things under control.
Mhm.
And Navy Pier, we know we planned for at least 5,000 people. We planned for at least a turnout of 5,000 people. What we didn't realize is that we got a bigger turnout than we thought, because the people started coming from all over the place, and certain entrances and exits were open that that we figured would be closed,
Mhm.
and then we were told that that nobody would be able to enter. But a lot of vendors made money, but they also lost money,
Okay.
because you had because you had people that who had ill intentions, because they went down there and started stealing people's product.
Mm.
And it's like, and then then you found out that the person that you worked under uh said that they were going to pay you a certain amount, and that person disappears. And and you learn how
Mm.
to learn who to work for and who not to work for,
Exactly.
because when somebody's up there say, well, we're gonna make a lot of money, we're gonna make a lot of money, then but you putting your money in the hands of somebody else that and you figure out that you can't trust the person.
So did you do this just on just their word, or did you have a contract?
Yeah, we had a contract.
Okay, so you have to go back to that contract and what that contract stated, because if they walked away with half or whatever else you're supposed to, I feel like this: get your business in order, have a contract, have it written down, whatever you had to pay up front, whatever you had to pay before the event. So that way, when the event comes along, you ain't got to worry about it. It's already taken care of.
Right.
But if you're waiting until after an event happens, what you think is going to happen?
Right.
If you're dealing with somebody that you don't know who you're dealing with.
Right.
I've heard
Exactly.
horror stories. Get your affairs in order. I mean, make sure that everything is A, B, C. You ain't going to X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z is over with. Like you say, they walked away with your money.
We really learned how to because after after that that one event, that one large event, and we something that said, okay, well, we got this contract, and the person, now we said, man, we're gonna make x amount of dollars. And then all of a sudden, once it's like we signed this contract, and then the person disappears, and then you try to figure, and it's like, no, you can go to court and you feel, no, and the person doesn't show up.
So you say you signed a contract, you gave money, and the person disappears. So was the money supposed to go to the event hall that you had the?
No, the hall was paid for up front.
So what money did they walk away with? I'm a little
Well, because
confused.
the thing is, no, because um we know, because we know we know well, we were supposed to be employees of this person,
Hmm.
and you gave us a title, and a salary, and we signed a contract stating, okay, this is how much we get paid, and then and we employed other people who were depending on us.
So you didn't get paid, and the people that you employed didn't get paid. So that person walked away from that. Was it a certain amount of money that each person was supposed to get paid?
Yeah.
Well, I would have personally, me, they would have paid me, and the people gave me the money for myself and the people that I employed before those doors open. And then you would have got your money. You would have the money or the pool of money to give to the people that you employed. So during that event, you've already got the money to pay those people. You cannot entrust somebody that you've never done business with to do the right thing. And that's the mistake. People get naive and you entrust people that you haven't done business with to take care of something that you should have taken care of. So you get your money and you get that pool of money that they promise before the event even happens, so that you can go ahead and you make sure that you have your funds and have the people that you actually hired their funds, because now you don't have the money and now you got to pay people that you don't even have the money for.
Right. So that's one thing that that we've learned, especially in those years, that we know that we would never put ourselves in that position again. Especially, we say we're gonna be event promoters and event planners. We're not gonna sit there and say, well, we're gonna know that we're gonna do this, and then don't have the resources to
Mm-hmm.
pay off the people that know that we need to pay off, because no, you don't. One thing I made it my business that I don't want to be that kind of person that uh, you look up and saying, well, this person has a history of this.
Mm-hmm.
This person has a history of that, and no, well, he doesn't pay. Well, no, or they no, they s- no, or they talk a big game, but they're not who they say they are. And because now the person that we worked under is like, man, that person has so many lawsuits, it's crazy.
And that's where your research come in at, and you just gotta, like I said in the beginning, life is a learning experience if you learn from it. So now there was a learning experience. You just gotta say it's done and over with now. Nothing you can do about it, but you know what to do moving forward.
Right.
And that's the problem, that a lot of us have. And be on time, and make sure that you do your due diligence and make sure that all your ducks are in a row. All that comes with business, because if you let people in that you have not done business with, did you do your research on them? Do you know what they're about? Have they had events before? But you just said that there was a lot of people said that they've been known to do this before. So my thing is that if I've heard stories that, okay, I want you to be on this team with me to do this event. But if you heard stories of people saying, and they're all the same, they've done this before, they ran away with the money, or they did this, or they did that, I'm not gonna go into business with you. I'm not going to, because anybody know me, I'm about business. Um, I'm on time. If I say I'm gonna open at a certain time, I'm gonna open. If I'm gonna close at a certain time, I'm gonna close at a certain time. So
Right.
I'm gonna adhere to the schedule that I gave myself to give my customers.
Amen.
So my thing is that anybody, I'm all about my business. And when you're talking about you want to be able to do certain things, anybody, you can walk in there any given day. I have worked the front of my store to the back of my store. I have done it by myself on numerous occasions. It's about knowing that, hey, can I fill in this spot if this person don't show up? Some people on the business that can't fill in that spot because they too busy dictating. And I've heard people that tell me, you got to learn to dictate. You doing this? Yes, I know how to do it. It was mine. This is my baby I birthed. So it would be crazy for me to sit there and dictate to other people to do something when I don't know how to do it myself. And I'm hands on. Anybody knows I am hands on.
Yeah, that's how I learned. I
Yeah,
learned hands
you
on as
got to be
well.
hands on, and you got to know, and you can sit there and say, do this, do that, do that. But can I do this? Be accountable. And that's all about be accountable for what you're giving out. Make sure that you're able to do it too.
So, Don, yeah, you sitting so quiet. So, working in a small business, what now? What now type of things do you see um, to help a small business thrive?
I'm in and out now. I work full time,
I
so
know.
I'm in and out now.
What do you think?
Well, you go ahead. She been watching me long enough. She knows. Just had to wake her up over there. You know she was dozing.
Um,
Sometimes she tells me to turn it off. She tell me to turn it off because I will go home. Work for me, it's still work when I go home. So sometimes I can be up at night and I be like, I thought about a new flavor. And she'd be like, turn it off, Mom. Turn it off. It's time for you to go to sleep. She'll tell me, don't bring that computer home tonight. She say, you be up at 1:30 in the morning sending emails. Ain't nobody gonna read your email at 1:30 in the morning. I said, but they're gonna get it when they wake up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's why my dad, like, he's always like up in the middle of the night when he think about stuff for the events, what we could do better. He's always, I'm like, okay, dude, your brain is starting to fry a little bit. Take a breather,
mhm.
unwind, let your mind relax, because if not, you're gonna overwhelm yourself and you're gonna.
But a true business person, and if you have it in your blood, you want to make sure that the next thing that you do is better than the last, and you want to keep climbing because that's how it's going to work. And it goes back to when you sleep and somebody else is working.
Yeah, because I know we started. No, because when we first started, it was colossal events planning.
Mhm.
Um, and colossal events planning launched, and like I said, we were doing fashion shows, we were doing vendor events, but we learned that after a while that uh, the vendor thing wasn't really popping the way it's supposed to, because like I said, no, even though we were advertising, people weren't really supporting. And I felt bad for the vendors that actually came out, because they came out to want to make some money, and people and they had like 10 to 15 people show up, and is not, which is a bad scene. And so we shut down that phase of our business, because um, we didn't want so we had to sit there and try to kind of strategize how we can approach it again, because um, as I said, the western suburbs is a prime location, but it's hard to get those team members on board that would actually help make the dream work. Because one thing I'm a big believer of, teamwork makes the dream work.
Mhm.
And if if it's not working the way that you see it's supposed to be working, I had to actually kind of scale back to kind of say, okay, well, this is not working, and try to figure out how I can make it work. But then God gave me Colossal Step in Entertainment, whereas that people who like to come out and step know that I can bring vendors in as well, and bring them on as part of the team, and and we market there, and then no, then we launch from there. And that's one thing that I've been doing since we launched Colossal Step in Entertainment last August 20th. And we're and we see how God is blessing us to to expand our reach, and has helped us to be able to reach people that we never thought we'd be able to reach. uh, and people wonder, okay, so when they go to stepping events, they see all these grown people out, but they never. But one thing they never saw was a steppers organization who had their kids running the door. You know, I got
Yes, we do.
I got my 17-year-old daughter and my 16-year-old son. Who's there with me.
Right.
And they no and they trip out because they like how like this what we grown folks, man. It's like my thing is that my kids are mature me out their years, and then one thing I'm teaching them is how to run a business.
Exactly.
And they now my daughter, Egypt, she can run the business by herself, and because she knows exactly what her dad wants, what her mama wants her to do. And then we brought on Marie, Ariel Marie, who's baby girl, and she's learning how to work the business also. And so we're teaching our kids how to be business people, and how to be people, how to be a people person, because you're not that social butterfly, but you got to learn how to talk to people,
Yeah,
Exactly.
because I was a social butterfly in my younger years, and the older I got, the more antisocial I got, and I developed really bad anxiety. And then, but my dad was like, "If you're coming to the business, you gotta learn how to talk. You don't have to be like buddy with anybody, but you just gotta know how to approach people."
Right.
And trust me, it was a struggle in the beginning. It was a struggle because like I was still very shy and trying to read people. It's like that, and see if I could trust people. But the more events I went to with my dad and everything else, the more comfortable I got.
Mhm.
I still have my times where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of my bubble's gonna be invaded a little bit.
And the key is
Um,
just being yourself. Being yourself, you can have a conversation. She tell me I talk a little bit too much, but I'm a people. I'm a people person. I
That's
will talk.
him.
I will
That's
talk.
him. Like he will talk. Me, I'll hold a conversation with you if I know you. But things like if I know a new person, I'll say hello and it's like that, see how you are. After that, I just walk away. I'm like, no, nothing.
I
I was
would,
like, I don't know what to talk about.
honey. I would talk about anything. I talk about the sky, the weather, the birds, the bee. I talk about
But
anything.
exactly, but then when it comes like anything else, like everybody's like you're so shy, but you can hold a conversation with a complete stranger about sports and stuff like that. I'm like, well, yeah, it just depends on the
I got her out of
subject.
it now. She can hold a conversation about anything when she's awake. So she can hold a conversation, and like my even with my son, he can hold a conversation with you, and it's just like you said, growing them into that and starting them early enough to have a good conversation with anybody, and it starts early. It starts at home.
Right.
It
Yeah.
starts at home, and I was telling Ariel earlier, and this is just a little intro. Um, Next month, I'm going to bring on. I actually started a not profit organization that we are pretty much got everything in order. There's two other ladies that actually that I have on board, and collectively, all of us are going to do some things in the area. And hopefully we'll get to the point where we're going to help a lot of small businesses. So we've been working on some things. Don't want to say too much, but that's going to be that cliffhanger I'm going to leave everybody with. So we're working diligently and trying to make sure that we have everything in order and get some things on board for some people.
Yeah.
So,
So that's no, but that's a blessing, because uh when God gives you a vision,
mhm,
and and place people in your path that that can actually help you build that, and make that vision become reality.
mhm.
um I'm not. That's those are the kind of people that I want to connect with, because I'm no because I want to be one of the people that can actually reach out to people, and because I have no problem talking to people myself, because you know uh like I said, being an associate minister at my church, and then just and then being working at the bowling alley, you come in contact with all kind of people,
Mhm.
and you have to know, and then learning how to communicate with people on their level, because working at the bowling alley teaches you, um it first it teaches you humility, um because these folks, man, I'm telling you, they no, I mean they cuss you out left and right, and things you haven't did anything to them. And the thing is that no, that they know what they kind of realize that, man, they you're the one that's going to actually help get them to to the place that they want to be. If they want to get to a bowling lane, and you're the person that that's going to help them to get that lane. But if they don't foresee that it's going to happen when they want it to happen, they tend to want to try to go off on you, and you have to kind of well, not kind of, but you have to bite your tongue, because they're still the customer. And a lot of times, black people, we have this thing where we don't like waiting. And we tell them, well,
don't say that one. I'm a very
no,
patient person.
no,
Don't
not
do that.
everybody, not everybody's patient. Shut up.
I was like, no, don't say black people. I was like, not this black person. I'm very patient. Like, and especially being at my job, I'm like, I had to learn patience with people. I've had to learn that because my patience when being in the fast food industry was very thin, very thin.
Right, but
But it's just about customer service.
right,
I just feel like, I tell myself, but I try and teach everybody who works with me, treat people the way you want to be treated. It's always going to be people that's not having a bad day, has nothing to do with you. What you encounter has nothing to do with you. It's just the weight of the world probably just dropped on their shoulder. And you have to look at it that way and just act accordingly. It's nothing personal. You got to say it's nothing personal, but act accordingly, because your business is your business and you want to grow it. And that's how you got to look at it. So it's like I said, don't take anything personal, and you can't take it home with you. Okay. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. And when they actually come to whatever it is that they have to deal with, they probably have been to 6 other places and did the same thing, but it wasn't you. So don't take it to heart. And that's how you got to look at it.
like I said, one thing I learned is that that especially working in the bowling alley, I don't know, a lot of now I don't really take it. Now I don't take it personal at all now, because when I first started there, I ain't taking this no more. Man, you
But
got
you're still there, right?
Right. You got me messed up, man. But it was after a while you be like, no, but then you start understanding. Okay, no, that it's not you.
Right.
And it's like, and everybody's attitude is different. And then then you come across some temperamental females who just who want things when they want it and can't get it when they but I'm
But Gary,
saying,
you said temperamental females. Now you're
Right.
gonna get these females who's gonna get all on you. You better hope the minds don't be open against you. You better watch what you're saying.
I know. I just said,
I'm just talking about.
You put us all in one category.
But I'm just talking about what I've been talking about. So we get through talking about what I've been talking about. Then we through talking about what I've been talking about.
I know. I now.
No, but seriously, because like I said, because a lot of times, we get a lot of times at the bowling alley, we get females who want to start fighting with each other, and we just like trying to figure out why, you can't.
Somebody
You
still
can't
calling
know,
you,
but this Pastor Wiley, no, I'll call him back later.
huh?
But the thing is that you learn how you can actually reach them without setting them off, because you have.
Well, that's one way you're gonna set them off. So you
No.
gotta watch what you're saying.
Yeah, because I know they know. Can we take a break real quick? Can take a quick break. Take a quick break.
Say break.
Can take a quick
Say
break.
5.
Everybody clap your hands like SG, Liquid Creed, and Will It Soldier. We need more. I need an encounter, a spiritual encounter with you. Is that anybody's desire or testimony on tonight? I need an encounter, a spiritual encounter with you. Now come on, souls, I think we need to break it down. What we talking about? Verse 1, go. I'm not looking for another service to jump and shout and then I'm through. Nope. But I need your touch and anointing to change my life and be connected with you. I need an encounter, a spiritual encounter with you. Lord, I need you. I need an encounter, a spiritual encounter with you. We got another verse, y'all. So you know my testimony. Every testing trial that I go through in my weakest hour. Know that I can always count on you. I need an encounter. An encounter with you. I need an encounter. We got one more verse, y'all. I need you. Come on, did you cry out? Here I am. Here I am, Lord. With my hands lifted high. Hear my cry, Lord. Hear my cry, Lord. Need your spirit to your life. I need an encounter. Now in this moment, I need everybody to lift your hands.
So everybody, we're back. Thank you guys for being patient, and we're finna wrap this up. So here you go, boss.
Well, I apologize, everybody. That was my pastor, Pastor Marvin E. Wiley. When he calls, you have to answer. He's not gonna keep calling, so you got to answer his call and make sure that you find out exactly what your pastor needs. And working under my pastor, I work closely with him. And if he needs me, he called me, and like I said, and I answer whatever time he calls. So even in the midst of the in the middle of the show, man, I apologize for having to take the break, but no, it's something that needed to be done at that time. But I want to thank Stacy and Danye for being here with us, coming on as our co-host here at Podcastin with Colossal. Stacy has a vision that's amazing, and I'm grateful that God placed her in our path, because now we can actually do some things and meet some people, and we can actually not just help ourselves, but we can help others. And that's the one thing that we've learned to do, is that we want to help others elevate, because everything is not always about us. God places us in a position to be a blessing, because even in the midst of God blessing us, our blessings are not for us. Our blessings are meant to bless somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to thank God that again, putting people in our path who are not only a blessing to the community, but a blessing to young people and those who are in need, man. So we want to make sure that our connections stay strong. We want to make sure that our wills line up with the will of God, and that God leads us in a path that He would have us to go, whereas that we can actually reach people on their level and help people to understand is that there's no big eyes or little U's, because nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. One thing I understand is that everybody makes mistakes, but it's how you recover from the mistake. And when you learn how to recover from your mistakes and learn how to help other people to not make that same mistake, that's when things become a real venture in life. Because when we start thinking things are always about us, that's when we lose touch with ourselves. Life is too short. Life is much too short to look down your nose at somebody else, because just because they don't look like you, they don't talk like you, they don't dress like you, they don't have the ideas that you have, they don't have the vision that you have, doesn't make them any less of a person. Sometimes that person needs to be have a hand up instead of just giving them a hand out. Sometimes people needs to be helped up and placed, and helped to see that there's another way of life that they can live. Um, we have to learn as a people that we can love each other. We don't have to like your ways. We have to no. We have to love each other in spite of what you're going through, regardless of where you live at. What walk of life you are, what race you are. We have to learn how to love each other. Love each other through each other's flaws, and celebrate each other when the need of celebration is there. Um, I'm not. So again, I thank God for Stacy. I thank God for Danielle for coming on board, being with us, and I look forward to the work that we will do together.
Absolutely. I look forward to it as well.
And Earl, we're gonna have some popcorn for you, bro. We got you coming. But we're gonna sign off from Colossal. But so until next week, everybody, we see y'all next week.
Moses went
Peace.
to the top of the mountain. He lifted his hands. When he lifted his hands on the mountain, the people won the battle down in the valley. Great things happened.